companies from Vietnam who are showcasing their products and services outside. So kindly come inside. We are about to start the session. I'm really proud to share with you that we have two very important dignitaries from Gov't of Maharashtra. Mr. Abhimanyu Kale, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of MTDC, Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation, and Shri R.R. Jadhav, who is the Commissioner of Fisheries, Gov't of Maharashtra. Our Excellency Ambassador Pham Chau. May I request you to kindly come on stage and receive our dignitaries. So we have in the center Mr. Pham Chau. On his left, Mr. Abhimanyu Kale, the CEO and MD. May I request from the Vietnamese side again? So there are more than 27 companies from Vietnam, from many sectors, especially from fisheries, tourism, and Ministry of Commerce are here. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here with a lot of excitement. This is Mumbai, and Mumbai is the commercial capital of India. The ambassador, Mr. Pham Chau, is really excited because this is Vietnam Embassy's first large gathering, and we had a very high hope and excitement that how will we meet the people of Mumbai. So whenever from my childhood I used to remember about Mumbai, there are three things which will come to our mind. One is Bollywood, obviously all the Khans, Akshay Kumar and the heroes of Bollywood. The second used to be the stock market, how Sensex and Bombay Stock Exchange going up, going down. The third is obviously Ambani's and their lavish villas and all. His Excellency Pham Chau doesn't need any other introduction on this, but I would like to request Mr. Vishal Kamat to kindly join on stage. I think he should be here on stage. So sir, may I, before actually sitting there, may I request you to kindly deliver the welcome remarks to the audience in Mumbai.
His Excellency Mr. Pham Chau, visiting members of the delegation of Vietnam, my Indian industry colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Xin Chau and Namaskar. I would like to congratulate His Excellency for leading this multi-city delegation and working more as a mutual ambassador of two countries rather than only of Vietnam. I also would like to thank Viet for starting direct connectivity between Vietnam and India, which was a great need, and in December it will start with I think Delhi to Hanoi. Indian-Vietnamese relations have been for centuries. They have remained and continue to remain strong even after the formal formation of both these nations. The political connects have further deepened in areas of trade, defense, and many others. Especially India's Look East policy, combined with Vietnamese growing influence in the region, has paid rich dividends for trade as a whole and for both these two countries. So, considering so many of these common points, there are many opportunities which both have, especially India has to offer and Vietnam has to offer. One of them being education. India is a global hub and has now world-class institutes. In fact, if you see today's newspaper itself, you will find that there has been a dip of people going from India to US to study. Why? One of the main reasons is because there is great opportunity in India here, and a lot of foreign students from especially Southeast Asian countries prefer India. Why? Because it's a welcoming atmosphere. They feel welcome, and it's very important because if you have to stay here and study for 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, depending on your course, you have to feel welcome. Agriculture. I personally respect those who work so hard to grow food for our tables. It is our duty to enhance their life through better technology education, technology transfer, helping them to reduce wastage through cold storage and other chain practices, to be able to move goods faster and clearances also. All these matter in the agriculture sector, which can lead to unnecessary economic wastage and effort wastage. Manufacturing. Vietnam already is a very big hub for electronic components and other parts. We also need to study as CII members, as industry leaders, as even those who are looking at wanting an opportunity better in terms of Vietnam's rules, regulations. Take advantage of those people who are here, who are willing to help us set up there, because it will help probably in your forward or backward integration. Construction equipment. Today a growing economy needs growing tools, and Indian products already have a very large, a very positive impression compared to the neighboring equipment manufacturers. If we give it at the right price, definitely there is no reason why we cannot make a choice of product. I hope that this visit is fruitful for each one of you here, and especially the visiting delegation, and I wish all those who made this possible the very best of luck, and I look for many more such opportunities in the future. Thank you. Kamat.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vishal for giving your welcome remarks. Mr. Pham Chau, His Excellency, as I told you, he is one of the most dynamic leaders of Southeast Asia. He has represented Vietnam in many international platforms, whether it is United Nations or many other global platforms. So I have had the privilege of meeting many ambassadors, high commissioners across India, especially in New Delhi. So from my career as a journalist till my time at CII, FICCI, and then now as editor of the Policy Times. But I have not seen a leader like Mr. Pham Chau. He is aggressive, he is bold, and is very clear what he wants. So Vietnam, every country wants direct flight between themselves. So Vietnam is one of them. Many Southeast Asian countries. So Vietnam was also talking since 2012 that we need direct flights and all. There are a lot of discussions happening. So it is only under his leadership that today Vietnam and India has two direct flights. Two airlines are giving direct flights from India. So Indigo is flying from Kolkata to two Vietnamese cities. Viet is Vietnam's Indigo will start direct flight from New Delhi to two cities in Vietnam from December 6th. This is one of the most remarkable achievements that any individual as an ambassador or high commissioner of a nation would expect. So this has been I would like to have a round of applause for him for achieving massive success. The second amazing success that I see as a researcher or policy analyst is that India signs free trade agreements or different agreements with many other countries. So Vietnam is celebrating 3rd anniversary of comprehensive strategic partnership between India and Vietnam. And due to the comprehensive strategic partnership we are doing all these series of events, India and Vietnam's trade, bilateral trade has touched $14 billion in this year. Our target, their target is to achieve $15 billion by 2020. I have gone through research of all bilateral relations with all the countries. No country or with no country that India has achieved the target that they have set. The targets are never set to achieve. They are set to give a wisdom or vision. But Vietnam will be the only country where India will be achieving their bilateral target of $15 billion by 2020. In fact, it can cross. Now, I would like to request the Excellency, the most dynamic ambassadors that I have met, to kindly come on stage and deliver his opening address.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Dear Mr. Kale, Chief Managing Director of Maharashtra Tourism Development Board, Mr. Jadhav, Fisheries Commissioner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere thanks to the member of the dais and each and every of you for your kind interest in attending this forum on Vietnam-India investment, trade, tourism promotion. I would like to be brief by sharing with you just 3 messages. So after the meeting today, you can carry home with that 3 messages. The first message I would like to add to to what has been said about the current situation in Vietnam. The second message is about the current state of relationship between Vietnam and India. And the third message is why we organize the forum today. You have just heard about all the 9 things of Vietnam. I just want to tell you one thing, that with an annual growth of 7% per year over the last 1 decade or so, Vietnam has been able to eliminate nearly 55% of the poverty in our country. So coming from a country with 60% of its population who live under the poverty line as defined by the UN, now the poverty rate in Vietnam is just only 5%. And Vietnam has been able to maintain sustainable economic growth with its and also a very stable exchange rate. Inflation rate is just 3.4%, and national reserve is 80 billion US dollars. So Vietnam is doing very well economically. But most importantly, Vietnam has signed 14 free trade agreements. So we are a very open economy. And next year, Vietnam will be the chair of the Association of 10 Southeast Asian countries. And at the same time, Vietnam will sit in the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member. So that's why Vietnam's position is increasing. Now about the relations between Vietnam and India. The relations between Vietnam and India has been always cordial and friendly. We are bound by civilizational, cultural linkages that dated back 2,000 years when Buddhism first came into Vietnam. And the southern part of Vietnam, which was the kingdom of Champa, have strong relations with South India. And at the moment, we still have Indian monument, and we have receiving the support from the Indian mythological agencies. That relation is also bound by the convergence of strategic and geopolitical interests between the two countries, especially when India tried to become a global player in the world. We have been a trusted friend, and therefore we decided 3 years ago to uplift our bilateral relations to the comprehensive strategic partnership. And Vietnam enjoyed that partnership with only 3 countries across the world. And to add to what has been said by Mr. Akram about the good news, in addition to the direct flight operated by Inaugural and by Viet, in addition to the increase in trade between the 2 countries, I also like to announce on behalf of ESA, the presence here, that ESA just made a very successful discovery, which is very viable commercially. And this is a very good congratulations to ESA. It is a milestone in the history of ESA operation in Vietnam, together with the continued success in oil and gas exploration by ONGC in the Block 06.1 in the coast sea of Vietnam. The other good news is that HCL, the IT company, just made a decision to invest massively in Vietnam in order to create the largest IT development center in Asia, with the number of 10,000 engineer training from now until 2025. So those are the positive news that come up in our bilateral relations. Now my last point is that why we organize this. We organize this in order to celebrate the 3-year anniversary, but most importantly, to find ways to deepen our bilateral relations. That's why you have at hand, or you can collect this at the entrance. This is a program of 33 events that we organized in the full month of Vietnam in India. And the event you are attending today is the 21st event of the month. I hope that you will be able to continue to support Vietnam by attending the various events. And I have with us a big delegation coming from Vietnam, and this is the 5th delegation of the month. The first delegation led by our Minister of Home Affairs, and the last delegation will be led by our Vice President of the Republic. She will come on the first historic direct airline Viet arriving in New Delhi on the 8th of December as the chief guest of the Vice President of India. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the good news I bring to you. This is the reasons why we are here. I will give more time for my representative of different ministries, Ministry of Tourism, Ministries of Land Investment, Ministry of Fisheries, Ministry of Foreign Affairs to continue the interaction with you. And thank you very much indeed. I wish you a very successful deliberation this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Excellency. On behalf of Indian industry, all our partners, whether it is CII, FICCI, VFS, and Indian Importers Chamber of Commerce, now we just need to explore that. We just need to leverage that and make it happen. I really want to thank two dignitaries that we have from Government of Maharashtra. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Shekhar who is here. I requested him that I need two very senior level individuals, members from Government of Maharashtra. Somehow I got connected with Sir A.A. Yadav, who is the Fisheries Commissioner. Sir actually doesn't want to speak, but I would request him to kindly. So Mr. Jadhav is one of the dynamic Indian bureaucrats who is handling now leading India's fishery sector. On stage we have the Deputy Director General of Seafood Exporters and Importers Association. So I will be very happy to connect you with you, and we can explore a lot in the fishery sector. India has potential, and so is with Vietnam. It is just that we have to connect and explore that. Sir, I would request you to kindly share a few words on that.
Respected dais, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As far as the fisheries sector is concerned, the Indian government and the exporters from the India, they are exporting the fish and fish products to the tune of 50,000 crore rupees per year. As far as the fishing is concerned, to have a top view to the new, so to say, aligned who are not contacted with the fisheries sector, I just wanted to tell you a few things. Maharashtra has a 720 kilometers of seashore, and India is having a huge seashore. So there are, apart from the Indian Ocean, we have Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Apart from the marine fisheries, we have brackish water fish, means the water which is semi-saline, combination of both sweet water as well as salty water. And Maharashtra is one of the biggest producer of shrimps in these brackish water ponds, and the export quantity of these shrimps is also one of the biggest in India. Apart from the brackish water, we have inland fishing also. So Maharashtra is having a biggest water bodies in any of the states which are there in the India. So we have more major, medium and minor projects, irrigation dams, where we can have inland fishing. Now as far as fishing, we have two sorts of fishing cultures. Means one is a capture, where we can just harvest the natural produce of the fish, and second is a culture. Means as like that of agriculture, we have aquaculture. So this is the new offspring of fishing it is now coming up very well, and we can have a cage culture or a restricted culture of the fish in a controlled situation so that we can get more production in a controlled situation. As far as overall production of fish is concerned, it is growing, particularly in brackish water and inland, and there is a huge potential for both processing as well as export of all these fish and fish products. Fish means frozen fish, live fish, and fish products means the processing products of the fish. So I think it's a very fabulous sector. India is a monsoon country and we don't have any dearth of water. So the water bodies are huge, the perennial rivers are there, what I will say, the population is huge, and if you produce more fish, it not only adds into the economy of the country, but it adds into the nutrient values of the society. It is the best and cheapest source of protein. So from all point of view, the fish production, fish processing and fish export is the really good sector which is still underexploited. There is a lot of scope and everybody should take advantage of this particular situation. So thank you very much for organizers. They have invited me here, given me this opportunity, and thank you everybody. All the best, and please feel free to contact me for any of your doubts regarding fish and fish culture. Thank you.
I would like to request our chief guest of the evening, the afternoon, Mr. Abhimanyu Kale, who is the Managing Director and CEO of Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation. There is no better organization than MTDC to represent a gathering like this, where we have large number of gatherings from the tour operators and section from Vietnam and
Honorable Ambassador Pham Sanh, Chau, my senior colleague Dr. A.A-Hossain, Mr. Hoque, Mr. Inaugural, our Nam, Mr. Vishal, Kamat, and all the dignitaries, businessmen, and the gentlemen. It is really a nice pleasure to have interaction with you regarding the economic development of Vietnam and India, our economic and commercial ties. Really, there are very few countries which are having such a great speed of development, especially after Second World War or after the 1950s. Before 1950s, all of us know the Asia was not so developed. But the space has changed, and in this 21st century, now Vietnam has taken a great leap. I was really surprised by knowing the foreign tourists visiting to Vietnam. Very wonderful. I would like to give an applause to the Vietnamese government as well as Vietnam has very good natural resources, good nature, and so many people I know to visit Vietnam for kayaking as well as for water sports. Water sports has been a very good opportunity for Indian business people in the Vietnam. As well as Vietnamese people are also having a very good opportunity to invest in India. India has good infrastructure, very good potential of so many monuments. Maharashtra is also having very good architectural sites, heritage sites. So we are having, both the countries are having a very good opportunities to invest with each other. I cannot forget the one more peculiarity and similarity with Vietnam and India, that is your guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare is also a peculiar, very famous in Maharashtra also. As our ties are right from 2000 years back, we are with each other, but culturally also we are with each other. With these words, I would like to stop here and I will thank the organizers to give permission for me this speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the keynote address. So, you will be surprised to know that Vietnam attracts 14 to 15 million tourists every year. That's a humongous figure given that India attracts close to 8 to 10 million. So it is one of the such successful countries which attract major amount of foreign tourists. So I would like to have your leadership and the tour operators we have across Maharashtra to realize the ambassador's third target, maybe to convert these 35,000 people to a million at least by the end of 2020. With this, we want to close the inaugural session. I really thank R.R. Jadhav sir and our Abhimanyu Kale sir for being with us and coming here for this at this such short notice. You can be here on the stage. We have 2 more sessions to go, and then we will open for question answers.